That's a great segue. Her question was, if we don't want to stay with the UMC, what are our other options? And I'm going to tell you about some of these movements that are afoot, and that's our next section on the agenda that we didn't give you, sorry. Anyway, so the next one I want to tell you about is the next one on that cover sheet, which is called UMC Next, United Methodist Church Next. The title kind of leans us forward, so what comes next? And that was formed immediately after General Conference as a combination of centrists and progressives. It started with 6 persons who initiated this group. 6 persons, including Tom Berlin, who is the pastor at Flores United Methodist in nearby Herndon, and including Adam Hamilton, who is the pastor of the largest United Methodist Church in the country, which is the Church of the Resurrection in Beaver, Kansas. And they're the ones who just recently put together a group, May 20th through 22nd. They met at the Church of the Resurrection. So I want to tell you a little bit about them. From that initial group of 6, they started out with 2 different meetings consisting of 60 leaders across the denomination. One meeting was held in Dallas, a second meeting was held in Atlanta. And this whole movement is unfunded, so participants who go to these meetings and are part of this all pay their own way to do so. In May, one of the things that happened was they invited about 10 persons from each conference. So the initial 2 meetings in Dallas and Atlanta only had 60 persons from across the country, but then they decided we want representatives from as many conferences as possible. I think they had all but maybe a couple of tiny conferences in the country, and about 10 persons from each. So that's about 600 persons gathered at the Church of the Resurrection last week. We provided there on the packet sheet information about their website. They also have a Facebook page, and you can go on those to find out more information about them. And the last page of the packet is a statement that came out at the close of that conference on May 22nd. So you'll see there just some general information, and one of the biggest pieces that came out in that press release are the 4 commitments there at the bottom of that page. The first one, we long to be passionate followers of Christ, committed to this Wesleyan vision of Christianity. Number 2, which is part of our baptismal vows, we commit to resist evil, injustice, and oppression in whatever forms they present themselves. Number 3, we reject the traditional plan approved at General Conference as inconsistent with the gospel of Jesus Christ and will resist its implementation. And number 4, we work to eliminate discriminatory language and restrictions and penalties and discipline regarding LGBTQ persons. If you want more information about that particular movement, I would encourage you to go to the website. But one of the things that was interesting, I thought, as they gathered, it's primarily, as I said, centrists and progressives. And they took a vote early on in that meeting last week to determine whether people were more interested in leaving the denomination, forming their own thing, or if they were more interested in working within the denomination to work on reform within, say, annual conferences and general conferences and such. And the vote that was taken was split down the middle. So you can make your own decisions, I guess, about that. But the next meeting, just to tell you, the current strategy seems to be electing delegates within the annual conferences that will then go to general conference, because the next general conference will not be bound necessarily by what happened in 2019. So the next general conference, they could put forth legislation, and who knows what would happen and how the vote would go at that point. The next meeting for that particular group for UM Next is September 25th through the 27th, again at the Church of the Resurrection, as part of their usual annual Leadership Institute. And here are a couple of dates I want to invite you to write down if you're interested. Persons from Virginia who went to that conference last week will be presenting a question and answer session, a feedback session for persons in our area in two local locations. One of those is June 2nd, this coming Sunday night, at 7 o'clock in the evening at Fairlington United Methodist. That's on King Street, here in Alexandria. So June 2nd At 7 o'clock, members of that Virginia delegation who went to the Church of the Resurrection will present findings and give you feedback, and you can ask questions. The other closest one is June 10th, and that's at Herndon United Methodist, a little bit farther away, but June 10th at Herndon, that's on Bennett Street, and they have childcare they're providing that evening, and that's at 7:30. So June 2nd, 7 o'clock at Fairlington United Methodist, and June 10th, 7:30 at Herndon United Methodist with childcare